Hello, Adam Burnett here, HCM 445, doing my research presentation, um, research paper presentation. So, the organization, the business that I chose for my research paper was Uber. Um, and the topic of the paper was to integrate how the media can affect a business in crisis, either positively, negatively. That was one of the questions to talk about. And so I'm going to reference the crisis management book here and my introduction. Communication through the media, newspaper, television, and radio must also be used to accurately frame the crisis in the public's mind. So I'm going to be talking about that more. And it also says you must give intense attention how you communicate with the public through the media. So those are two little sentences from the chapter 7 in the crisis management book. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. So recently, Uber has been one of the top stories for many news reporting and media. And I set this presentation up in a way that it will um, go from past to present. So from the first um, incidents that happened to the most recent incidents that happened. So it kind of makes sense as we progress through this presentation. Um, and so this article here that is up here on the screen is an article from Sarah. And she had an opportunity to do a luncheon with some people who work at Uber, some top managers. And she learned about their culture values. And they have 14 of them. And she basically says that Uber employees must have a hustle mindset and a do whatever it takes attitude to move the company in the right direction. So the company runs in a very decentralized leadership way, and it really does give a lot of the employees, the managers, freedom to control their leadership with the kind of common objective to progress the company and do whatever it takes. So this is just kind of a little bit of background about Uber, and it'll kind of be referenced throughout these incidents that I'm going to be going over. Okay, so this was September 22 of 2016. Here is a piece of information that's important on Jan 2nd, 2017 of this year. The Business Insider made an article about the 8 most valued companies, private companies, and here they are, with Uber being the number one at $68 billion. So it is considered the most successful startup company in the world. So it's a very successful company. So that's just a piece of factual information. And now getting into the first incident that happened. When President Trump released his travel ban, New York taxi services protested it and at the JFK airport, and Uber decided to continue their service, and the only thing they did in response was remove their surge pricing, which makes it actually cheaper for customers to use the hauling service. And this pissed off a lot of people, as you can see by the title of this article. This was on January 29th, 2017. And the big outcome of what this happened with the media was the hashtag delete Uber happened. And this actually resulted in over 200,000 people deleting the Uber app, and the Uber app is how Uber conducts its business. It's how customers call for drivers. It's how customers pay the company. So 200,000 people basically losing business. So it was a big deal, and the media was able to host this delete Uber through Twitter. So that was the first thing that kind of happened. Again, that was January 29th of this year. Here's another article discussing why people are deleting Uber. And they have in the process of deleting their app, they were able to post a comment of why they were deleting it, and there were some pretty mean comments that I was able to read. So the public's reaction was pretty negative. Fast forward to February 19th, and a former female engineer makes a blog post on her website and is alleging that she was being sexually harassed during her time at Uber. And here's her blog. And she, in her blog, she writes out the steps that she took, including bringing it up to HR. And basically, she was turned down, told to hush up about it. They didn't want to punish the alleger because he was a top performer. And so this immediately basically resulted in the CEO taking action and launching a internal investigation with the United States Attorney General Eric Holder, and as well as Ms. Huffington, who is a board member and the founder of the Huffington Post. So the media, the book, it talks about how you can use the media to channel your communication to the public to help build the image that you want, and not allow the media to develop the perspectives of the public. And so in this instance, they used a big name Attorney General Eric Holder to show that they were very serious about the sexual harassment incident that they have, and that they're looking to obviously investigate it and get to the bottom of it. I believe this is another article. This is February 22nd, so 1, 2, 3 days after that last news. And this is just more media about what Susan Fowler wrote about, and it also picks apart the workplace culture, talking about their 14 values that we covered earlier, and so it's just more media to fill the public's perspective. Then, pretty long video. Then, this is just more detail. February 22nd, more detailed media about Susan's come forth with the sexual harassment, and a different take on how the media is handling it. I'm doing a presentation. Just a quick thing that happened in between all this. One of the Uber's engineers, who was from Google, who resigned from Google, was actually resigning because of a sexual harassment incident, and because of everything that's going on, and Uber's image being hard looked at by the public, Uber fired that former engineer from Google who had a sexual harassment issue. So that shows the effect that this is all having on Uber. Again, just another media article picking apart the workplace culture from Susan Fowler's sexual harassment. talking about how he's a high performer and nothing was done and such. So we have the protests with the Twitter hashtag. We have Susan Fowler's argument. So this article kind of gave me that idea that this is becoming a perfect storm for a crisis for Uber, right? And sure enough, yet another thing happens on February 28th, less than 10 days after Susan Fowler's blog post. The CEO is caught in an argument with one of his drivers.
Changing every day. What have I? You keep changing. Hold on a second. What have I changed about black? Huh? What have I changed? The whole business. What? You dropped the prices on black. Yes, you did. Bullshit. We started with $20. Bullshit. We started with $20. You know what? How much is the mile now? $2.75. You know what? What? Some people don't like to take responsibility for their shit. They blame everything in their life on somebody else. Email for town car. Good luck. Good luck to you too, but I know you don't gonna go far.
So that captures the end of the argument, and after this video went viral, the CEO ended up writing an apology to his employees, and it's just yet again the perfect storm of a combination of multiple things and how the media is broadcasting it to the public and how Uber is responding and developing it. Some of it positive, some of it negative. In conclusion, the investigation has yet to come to another case, and this all happened within a month of each other. So Uber started watching.